Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, the Geek Takeover, coming at you with another video talking about Daredevil Season 2, Episode 6, Requiem, with a quick recap and review. There's a lot to talk about with this episode. The last 2 weeks, 4 and 5, we had absolute bangers. Some of the best episodes of the season so far. Not some of, the best episodes of the season so far. Arguably, probably going to be the best episodes of the entire series. No, not series, sorry. All the entirety of Season 2. So how do they follow it up with Episode 6? They have a lot of pressure. There's a very high bar. They hit kinda. I would say it wasn't a home run. It was kind of like a triple, if I'm being honest with you. You know, we got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about Daniel and BB. We got to talk about Buck and Heather. We got to talk about Matt and Karen. We got to talk about Matt and Fisk. We got to talk about Dexter and Karen. We got to talk about Jessica Jones. We got to talk about Mr. Charles. So let's start with Jessica Jones. You know, they really promoted the hell out of this episode featuring Jessica Jones. The people were so excited for Christian Ritter to come back. And you know what? I'm one of those people. I love Jessica Jones Season 1. I think Jessica Jones Season 1 is one of the best seasons Marvel has ever done. I think Kilgrave is one of the best villains Marvel has ever done. But she was barely in the show, at least this episode. I hope that there's 3 more episodes, I think there's 9 in total. She could still come back. Obviously, we know she's coming back in Season 3 at least. But I felt like what the scenes they showed in the trailers sum up her entire role in this episode. She has a daughter with Luke, presumably with Luke, like in the comics. Some Mr. Charles's people show up at her house. They try and raid or break in there. She beats them up. She tells Matt. They find the warehouse where Fisk has his guns that he stole from Mr. Charles, which we'll get to in a second. She goes in there with him. They have a quick fight scene. Sometimes she loses her power. Sometimes she doesn't. But it was really great seeing Christian back in action. I'm very happy for her. She deserves this. I hope that we get a Jessica Jones show now too as well. She also mentioned briefly that government people have called her. She's told them basically fuck off. She said other people though have not told them to fuck off, and she thinks that they snitched. I'm wondering if she was talking about Luke, because he was never mentioned in this episode. He wasn't name dropped as the father, nothing like that. So who knows? But anyways, you know, she has a quick fight scene. Warehouse is destroyed. We don't even get a bye. She's just gone. The last scene we see of her is on her ass after getting punched by the task force guy. I can't remember his name, but when I do, his name's going to be somewhere down there. That's the last time we see her. Anyways, talking about a small role in this episode, Mr. Charles. You know, him and Fisk had a deal. Fisk was going to give him the weapons. After what happened with Vanessa, Fisk said no. He took the guns, took them to the warehouse. They got destroyed. Mr. Charles calls him up, tells Fisk, where are my guns? No answer. He says, all right, fine. Fuck it. You know, he says, I didn't want to have to do this basically, but now I have to do this. Goes to the governor. Governor is going to pull her support from Fisk. Who knows what else he's going to do. That's kind of it. I hope that we continue to see more of Matthew Lillard. I think he's a great addition. I want to see more of his character. I want to see his connection to Val, because obviously he's somewhere under her. And I want to know if he is going to be the connection between Dexter and the Thunderbolts, because I really, 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 really want to see that team up. I think that is perfect for him. So that does it for him. But speaking of Bullseye, let's jump into him and Karen. But before we do, really quick side note. I saw today a rumor that in the MCU they're still going to use Taskmaster's techniques and abilities and technology. And honestly, I saw another rumor that said Bullseye and Taskmaster's abilities, armor, whatever, together Bullseye with that kind of power is terrifying, and I'm here for it. Take my money. Anyways, he gets stitched up. Him and Karen have a kind of like a heart to heart. She has a gun pointed at his head, and he's begging her to do it. He is ready to die. He needs to be on the suicide squad. That's how ready to die he is. Karen almost does it. Matt comes in. They have a little argument. She's more or less like blaming herself and Matt for not killing Fisk, for not killing Bullseye. Because of this, Foggy's dead. She's seeing Wesley in her nightmares because she killed him. She just wants this to be done. That's kind of that. Dex doesn't really have a big role in this episode. Rip. Who else? Oh, Daniel and BB. Oh, no. But let's do Buck and Heather. During the, I guess the wake after the funeral, Heather goes into their bedroom, Fisk and Vanessa's. She takes one of Vanessa's earrings, I think, or rings. Why, you may ask? I don't know. To pawn it? Because she loves her and she wanted to keep a memory of her? Because she's turning into a lady muse and this is her trophy or the beginning of her trophies? Or maybe she just wants to be like Vanessa. Who knows? Speaking of lady muse, she looks into the mirror and I think she was going to have like another psychological break where she's still slowly slipping into becoming muse. But Buck walks in, they have a little heart to heart. He tells her, choke me like how Muse choked you to get it out of your system. Which, by the way, last week we found out Matt's a feet guy. This week we find out Buck is a choke guy. What's next? We're going to find out that Fisk is a butt guy. Who knows? But that's kind of it. They almost kissed. They had a really... They were there. They were that close. I think it's going to happen. But they were that close. Then we have BB and Daniel. I'm really, really, really loving them. I love Daniel as a character this season. I really hope he doesn't die. BB is a great character. It's his birthday. He's trying to sniff out the mole because Buck tells him, don't trust BB, give her some false information, see if she leaks it. They go to Daniel's mom's for his birthday. She almost leaks some fake news that he's told her about Fisk not rerunning for mayor. She goes into his bedroom and sees a picture of him and his dad, and she decides to delete the message. Maybe she's having a change of heart. Who knows? Meanwhile, Daniel finds that BB has some kind of the chip that Javier, Ava's friend or Angela's friend, gave her. Don't know why it's still in her pocket. That's fucking stupid. So he confronts her. He says, why would you do this to me? I don't think I can protect you anymore. And she's like, protect me from what? And Buck. So I think within the next couple of episodes, obviously, I think Buck is going to find out. He's either going to kill Daniel or Daniel's going to die saving BB. Who knows? I don't want it to happen, but I see it happening. I'm losing my train of thoughts. I guess that kind of leaves us with the creme de la creme, Fisk and Matt. This entire episode, I don't think Vincent D'Onofrio said a single line until the end, which was beautiful. The non-speaking performance was the best performance, I think, in the entire episode. In the beginning, the doctor walks in, gives his condolences. Fisk banes this guy after he comes in for a hug. Still don't know why Fisk is so freakishly strong. It makes no sense, but it is what it is. Then we have scenes of Fisk slowly, I think, losing it and losing control of the situation. We have a protest out front in City Hall. We have the prisoners on a projector screen showing their confessions that they filmed with Karen. Shit gets out of hand. He goes down to the basement where he sits in front of the white painting. Then we have the most beautiful shot of Daredevil's horns on the side of Fisk, and the episode could have ended right then and there. It was that beautiful. But it didn't. We got an awesome fight scene with those two, where ultimately the painting gets ripped. Fisk gets pissed off. He punches through a fucking cinder block brick thing. He hurts his hand at least, but he did it with such ease. They go back and forth. It's beautiful choreography. Ultimately, Matt stands tall. Fisk is like, "What are you gonna do? Arrest me? No. Kill me? Ha! No." Matt walks away. And then the episode ends with the dickhead task force agent finding Karen, because during the protest, Karen, Angela, and Javier are there. Something happens to Javier. He gets, presumably, I'm assuming he's dead now, but Karen tells Angela to go get help. Somebody snatches Karen's bomb ass wig, and he's like, "Holy fuck, it's Karen Page." Episode ends. Where do I think that's going to lead us? I think ultimately that means, obviously, she's going to be taken prisoner. I think Fisk is going to use this to his advantage. He's going to torture her, probably. He's probably going to maybe threaten to kill her, take Matt's Vanessa from him, like how he thinks Matt took Vanessa, or how Vanessa was taken from him. And ultimately, he's going to use this as a trap to lure out Matt or Daredevil. Which later in the trailers, we do see Matt in the courthouse. So maybe he shows up to defend Karen. Boom, I just thought about that. That could be fire. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that. It wasn't the best episode. It had a really high bar to follow after the last 2 weeks. But it was a really good one. Normally, if the last two ones were like 4.5s out of 5s, this would probably be a 4 out of 5. But for the lack of Matthew Lillard and Christian Ritter, I want to give it a 3.9. I really do. But I can't. It's a 4 out of 5, guys. This episode was amazing. I would love to know y'all's thoughts about this. Drop them in the comments. Let me know what you guys think will happen with the rest of the season. If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. Later this week, me and my wife are going to drive down to Tampa for the BTS concert on Sunday. April 20 whatever, I don't know off the top of my head. So you guys can check out my socials for information, like photos and videos of that. You can check them out on YouTube Shorts. You can check them out on TikTok. And, you know, we have just a couple more weeks of this. Then we have Punisher, Supergirl, Brand New Day, Invincible and The Boys is coming up, or like finishing up. So maybe I'll have a video on that. We have the NBA playoffs going right now. My Lakers are playing the Houston Rockets, and I really hope that they're winning. You know, shout out Lake Show as always. LeBron is going to carry us through this first round. Luka and AR are going to be back for the second round. Preferably, I would love to play Phoenix, but I know that's not going to fucking happen. So hopefully they're all back and healthy. We beat the Rockets, we beat the Spurs, and we go to the finals to win our 18th fucking championship. But also, while I'm talking about NBA really quick before I wrap up, how the fuck is Luka not a finalist for MVP? He's leading the league in scoring. He's top 5 in almost every fucking category that you could think of. And they fucking robbed him. Do I think Jokic, Shea, and Victor had a great season? Yes. But hear me out. Luka's better. I think Luka is one of the best players in the world right now. I think when he wins a championship, he will get that crown of best player in the world. But, you know, not going to go off on a rant. Lake Show, let's go. But until next time, guys, this has been the Geek Takeover. I am signing off, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.